Hey, what's going on, y'all? Chris Bone here from Meat Off the Bone and County Kitchen. Welcome back. It is Tuesday, and last night I had a steak ready for me yesterday for dinner. It's a nice little New York strip steak, and I ended up going to the gym instead of eating dinner, which probably isn't good for me, but I wasn't really hungry after I got back from the gym, so I stuck the steak in the refrigerator. I took it out of its packaging, stuck it in a Ziploc bag, stuck it in the fridge, and brought it with me here to work today. I was gonna just eat it for breakfast, so I was like, you know what? Nah, I'll wait until the afternoon if I can actually do a video. Because I don't think of all the videos I've done, I have yet to show you how I actually personally cook a steak. Yeah, weird, strange. Maybe I haven't, I don't forget, I don't remember. I mean, you all have better memories than I do, of course. Once I say something wrong, or if I'm wrong about anything, I'm rah. Everybody, hey, Chris, you said it on this. Okay, fine. Leave it alone. If I did, I did. If I didn't, I did. But we're gonna do a steak today, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I do mine. This is my New York strip. You can tell it's been sitting in the plastic bag because of the grayness of the fat. I'm trimming that off anyway. I use the fat as kind of like lubrication, flavored lubrication. So just grab your little knife, and this right here is also called silver skin. You don't want to eat that. I mean, you can, but it's really tough. It's I mean, I cook with it. I mean, it's all of this is fat. All right. I don't really eat the fat. I do have, like ribeyes, I'll eat the fat, but with a New York strip like this, I always trim the fat off, and I put this in first with well, let me go through my ingredients. There's not really ingredients, it's just the seasoning. I have this is just regular old canola oil, just like maybe what is that, a tablespoon? I use that with the fat. The fat will actually lubricate your pan. If you have any food grade scissors like I do, these scissors are only used for food. I cut these just like in little strips, and I fry them in the oil. I'm sure a lot of people do the same thing. It just gives that, the oil doesn't really give much of a flavor, but the fat will. Even if it is like silver skin, it doesn't matter. You can still cook with it. It's fat. I mean, it's delicious. You just don't want to like eat too much of it because it's not the best thing for you. Try and trim as much fat off your steak as possible. I am going to try and get this off because there's silver skin under this flab of fat. I don't know if you can see with the camera. You can. Okay. But what I do is I'll start. Since I've started, turn this around. I use my scissors for the rest of the way. I'm trying my best to keep the steak on line with the camera. I'm not trying to get rid of all the fat, just the majority of it. Nice lean cut of meat. Perfect. Cut this up. And remember to always wash your scissors after use. Which, you do. I know you do. You do, right? Yeah, you're good. You're fine. Yeah, you do. All right. Let's go ahead and, well, let me go wash my hands again. Put these in the sink. Okay, it is time to season the steak. This is a very fine looking specimen, if I do say so myself. This You can. Actually, I do. All I'm using is adobo, fajita seasoning, salt, and pepper. That's it. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the pan now. The fire is on. As if you all know, I always use my middle burner, just to get some heat on there. Let's put some seasoning on the fat. Okay. And all of this is going over there. That's my little rag. Perfect. Now some of you, like I have done in the past, will cook the fat until it's crispy, like really crispy, almost like a pork rind. And you can it's really good to eat. Again, it's not the best thing for you to imbibe, but it is quite delicious if you do it right. Just a FYI, you don't have to waste your fat if you don't want to. Okay. We will take some, it's the same seasoning I just put on the fat. I'm just showing you how much I'm putting on my steak. Some people like a lot of seasoning on their steak, and some people like medium. Some people like a little bit. Me, I like a I don't know. Depends on my mood. If it's a really fatty cut, like a New York or a ribeye, I will use the minimal amount. I only use really salt and pepper, because I like the marbling. I like the flavor of the fat riddled in the steak. If I'm doing something like a sirloin, like a kind of a cheaper cut, I will season it a lot because, well, I mean, if you know how to make a steak, you know how to make a steak. But for a sirloin, I like a little bit more pepper. I like a lot of pepper on my steak. With the New York strip, is kind of like the medium, the happy medium between the two. This is adobo and my fajita seasoning on one side, and it'll be salt and pepper on the other. A lot of times, if I use a lot of these two, like on my sirloins, I will forego the salt because there's so much salt in the adobo and the fajita seasoning. But I always use my black pepper. You will never see me eat a steak without black pepper. I will order a steak at a restaurant and put more black pepper on it. I love me some black pepper. This looks like a fish, doesn't it? There's a tail. It's a shark. All right. Let us go and see how the fat is rendering. Beautiful. Yes, I have it on high heat. I like my steaks very rare. So what I do is I'll put the steak on the oil and the grease of the fat at a very high heat to sear the outsides of the steak, and that way the residual heat of the outside steak will actually, get inside the middle. Even though I like my steaks rare, at least they get a little touch of heat. So let's move these to the side. Just like that. Grab this. All right. I'll cook that for maybe 1 minute on each side. Take this away. We can put this away. Good to get me a pair of tongs. All right, that's looking awesome. Oh, another little FYI. If you ever cook steak at your house, You can take it out of the refrigerator. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm flipping it here. If you're gonna cook steak, try and cook it as room temperature as possible. The tender, the bite, the tenderization is so much better when you cook a room temperature steak as opposed to a cold one. Just an FYI. Okay. The fat is actually not part of my meal, but I wanted to show you that you can actually eat it. I'm putting it on a napkin right before I take this off. This thing's actually almost ready to come off. See, a lot of that, only just a little bit of that's the regular oil. The majority of this grease in here is actually fat rendered from these crispies. And I'll just eat one. I don't want a whole. I don't want a lot of them. I don't want a lot of them. All right, my steak is done, y'all. Guaranteed done. I'm using my camera so you get a good look at it. That was wonderful. That was so good. Now I'm just gonna take the towel that I just used for the fat and use it with the steak. Just to get the excess grease off. You could make a gravy out of this very easily. If I had a little bit more time, that's probably a really good idea. Sometime I'll do another steak and then I'll show you how to make a gravy out of the drippings of your steak, which I have stuff all over this camera. Pardon me. Looks like I splashed. That was some grease splashed. All right. It's one of my GoPros. I love my GoPro cameras. They're awesome. I don't like. A little bit of water. There we go. I don't want that oily film on the camera. There we are. There it is. Pristine. Okay. See, I'm not a perfect YouTuber. I screw up all the time, and I bring you with me. Okay, the fire is off. This is I guess cooling down, and this is the finished product. This looks so good. Oh my goodness, look at that. And yes, I'm gonna cut into it just to show you all. I know you're looking at this piece right there. It's like, oh, you gotta try that end piece. All right. The end piece is gonna be a lot more well done. Actually, that's cooked at more of a medium than a rare because this is the end piece. But if you cook it right on the end, right here, you get, look at that. Perfection. Look at that nice, cool red center right there. I don't know if can you get it, camera? Yeah, you can. It's such a thin cut of meat too, that you have to be really careful or you'll over cook your meat. Some of you like it well done. I am not a well done steak person. I'm not. I really am not. I will not eat a hockey puck. That's what I think it is. Yeah, it's disgusting. I don't like it. Now this is just the fat that I trimmed off just to oil up the pan. Tender, you get a little crunch on the outside, it's tender on the inside. Not hard to chew at all. There will be a little bit of that silver skin in there, which would be a little bit harder to chew, but because it cooks so much that it's broken down enough that you can actually eat it. Actually, it tastes pretty good. If you make green beans with your steak, take your fat and crisp them up and then dice them, really fine dice them. Throw them over your green beans. A perfect garnish for your green beans and with your steak. It's so good. Try it. I totally recommend it. the end piece, done to total perfection. Of course, it being a New York strip, it's already tender. It's a great cut of meat. And granted, it's not a filet mignon. To tell you the truth, I like a New York strip better. One, it's cheaper. Secondly, there's actually fat on it. A filet mignon, you're not gonna have any fat. I gotta have a little bit of fat with my steak. So good. So tender. For all of you steak lovers out there, you know the look on his face. You've had the look on his face, yes. It does not need any A1 sauce, does not need any Worcestershire sauce, doesn't need any seasoning. Besides the seasoning I put on, I'm gonna eat this just as it is. It's that good. If I had some more time, maybe some sauteed mushrooms and onions would have been bellissimo. But to show you for the video's sake, total success. Total and utter success. Well, that's how I make a steak. I would love to know how you all make a steak. Let me know in the comments down below, or if you want to know how to reach me on Facebook, please do. Let me know how yours turns out. My name is Chris Bone. This is Meat Off the Bone in County Kitchen. Thank you for the support. Have a great holiday season, y'all. Take care.